really light. The F-TypeR Coupe comes in with a curb weight of about 3,500 pounds, which is significantly lighter than its competition from Nissan with the GTR, which is like pushing 4,000 pounds easy, and about I think about 100 pounds lighter than most 911s. So that is all really, really good in this extremely focused, very wide, super premium package. Whew, what a car, what a car. But obviously its big showpiece is this engine and drivetrain, which is a 3.5 second marvel. So we're still at 20 miles an hour in first gear. The other sense you get is that even for like a light truckable track car in its dynamic modes, you really, I mean, this is an exceptionally truckable but trustworthy experience. Whereas the F-Type previously in its R version might have felt like it was going to spit you off the track or the road pretty frequently. This all-wheel drive variant has none of that sort of ambiguity about its control. You're in perfect control all the time. But you've got some controls in the setup for the dynamic mode, including G-force displays, a little bit of a lap timer, but not an actual 0 to 60 timer, and not launch control as far as I can get engaged. But you do have those. That sort of. Of performance indeed. Jaguar has a new tagline for 2016. Last year it was it's good to be bad with the villains, English British villains commercial, and for 2016 and beyond we're talking art of performance. So obviously, you know, I wouldn't really care to mention the vehicle OEM taglines until I'm in a car like this, in which case I literally want to stand in front of the Jaguar dealership with a sandwich board and try to get people in to drive this car, and particularly Porsche 911 owners, who this car is aimed at like a bullseye. The wonderful thing about the F-TypeR all-wheel drive is that now we're really taking aim at the Porsche 911 Turbo versus its perhaps its previous target of the C4S. And the 911 Turbo is really it's a do-it-all machine. I mean, if you're on a track that you don't know, track with elevation changes, anytime there's any kind of moisture in the air, I mean, the all-wheel drive and C4S and this F-TypeR all-wheel drive are really the ones that are going to make superb time and not scare you to death. You really don't need to be concerned about losing control in this car because it has such fantastic grip. So that's yeah, bottom line, punto, period, at the end of that sentence. But that being said, we do have the ESP off right now, and there is a ton of power. In certain circumstances, the F-Type will break its rear wheels loose, and then have its front paws like opposite launches. We'll try that now. Launches like a pro. The thing, I mean, it's hard to wish for launch control because it honestly doesn't need it. Oh wait, it says I need two. Okay. Just dead stop. I mean, that is so fast. It's 3.5 seconds, but it honestly it doesn't go by in a blur like the GTR or the E63. It really is a very sensory immersive experience because of the massive amount of G-forces that you're feeling. fabulous balance with the front engine, 50-50 weight distribution, and then of course the fabulous sonics out back. It really is almost indescribable, quasi-orgasmic experience. I'm at a loss for words, so we'll just try to do maybe a little more driving and a little less talking in the next videos. I'd love to find some curvy roads where I could really give it some throttle around the corner. It's not always a sure thing. Sometimes they can get a little, like the traditional, like Audi-ish, sort of like blocky steering where you have traction, but you have very little visibility into how the front axle is performing, how much grip it has left, and what the surface is like. Whereas this Jag all-wheel drive system is completely different. By being so 100% rear focused and then shifting front drive, you really have all the benefits of rear drive, but the control and most weather speed that only all-wheel drive can deliver in this era of supercars and forced reduction. 550 horsepower, 2015 Jaguar F-TypeR Coupe, all-wheel drive. Stunning, stunning, stunning. The only thing is I might skip the carbon brakes. In addition to being a $12,000 option that seems really, really pricey, they are a little bit unusual for street driving. Like when you go through a car wash afterwards when they're really cold, you really have to warm them up before they start delivering their max performance. And that's like every carbon brake setup. It is really helpful. I mean, if you're trying to be on the Nürburgring, for 10 laps in a row, which is like 200 miles almost, at full throttle attack, I mean, hundreds of corners per lap, so that's like 1,000 corners an hour at full throttle and full braking. I mean, at that point, you really you would appreciate the merits of carbon ceramic brakes, which do not fade, which just get better and better as they get hotter. I mean, the brakes really do. Now that they're warming up a little bit. Offer like sublime stopping power, but there's certain instances on the road when you're kind of like, oh, where are the brakes? Where are the brakes? And that's a little disconcerting. But otherwise, no squeakies or any kind of other like weird noises around town like some carbon brakes do deliver. But supercar, super Jag.